G'day, I'm James Stroud from Stroud Homes, and today I'd like to talk about hot water heaters. We test our products at Stroud Homes in our personal homes to make sure that we're making good recommendations to you. Now, there's lots of hot water heaters on the market, but I want to tell you about the ultimate hot water heater and the best value hot water heater, in our opinion. We've made our selection for the hot water heaters on two bases. Number one, the environmental impact, and number two, the cost. Now, we're going to explain why we've chosen two hot water heaters as being the ultimate and the best value, and we're also going to explain why we excluded hot water heaters from our selection. Alright, let's talk about tanks. One of the fundamental things you need to consider when selecting a hot water system is whether or not it has a tank. And I'll tell you up front, I have an issue with any hot water system that has a tank. The problem is whenever you have visitors to your home for whatever reason, a wedding, people from overseas, you're going to find with a tank that you're going to exceed the capacity. Have you ever had the experience of a bunch of relatives dropping in on you? They have clothes they need to wash, you've got extra dishes to wash, you've got extra showers to have. All of a sudden you've got no hot water. It's a terrible feeling. There's a reason why a cold shower is used metaphorically in our language. So all of these systems with a T beside them have a tank. So when we start eliminating hot water systems to get down to the ultimate and the best value tank, we're going to consider the tank and how that affects the performance of the hot water system. The next thing we're going to consider is what fuel the hot water system runs on. So solar with electric, well, that's going to use electricity. Solar with gas, that's going to use natural gas or LPG gas. Gas, that's going to use gas. Heat pump, that's going to use electricity. And electric with element, that's going to use electricity. Now, I might just comment about the electric with element. That is not, there's many areas where you can't use those anymore. They've been basically banned by the government because they use so much electricity. So let's talk about electricity versus gas. I rang an architect friend of mine this morning and we had a chat about the pros and cons of electricity versus gas. Electricity in Australia is usually produced via coal power. Gas, there's plenty of it. It's easier to produce gas. I think that if you sat down and looked at it, you'd find that gas is a little bit more environmentally friendly than electricity. So that's going to affect my selections too when we come down to looking for the ultimate and the best value hot water heater. Alright, so we're just going to move our way through these systems, have a little talk about each one, the pros and cons of each. I have an opinion on each one, and I guess I'd just like to help our customers make an informed choice on hot water heaters. So, the solar with electric boost. I've had one of those in my own home. What I found was that during the summer it was fine. We had more hot water than we ever could use. And in the winter, we had a shortage of hot water. Anytime the outside temperature is getting down to 20 degrees, you're going to find that the water is down around 40 degrees. I think the rule of thumb is that they roughly double the outside temperature. So if it's 20 degrees outside, you're going to have 40 degree water, and most people, by the time it goes through the line, loses a couple degrees, you're down to what would be considered a lukewarm shower. So I found that system to be problematic, and we actually had several customers put solar with electric boost on their home and find that the water wasn't warm enough in the cooler months of the year. The other thing is it has a tank, and I've learned that the electric booster in the tank on the solar, it's designed to get you through those cooler months, but the reality is it's only halfway up the tank. It only heats half the tank up. Now look, many people will put a little spa bath in their house. Why do they put it in there? So they can have a warm bath in the winter. Well, that's just the time when you're going to find you don't have enough hot water to heat the bath. That's what I found. I'm just passing my experience on to you. At Stroud Homes, we have one goal: to build great homes. We have no allegiance with any hot water system supplier. Okay, now solar with gas boost. To me, this is what I found to be the ultimate hot water system. Solar with gas boost. You've got a tank, but because it's a gas instant heater paired up with solar, during the summer you've got no end of hot water. During the winter, you've got no end of hot water, but you'll have to use gas to heat it. Now, during those months where you just want to have a hot bath, then you use a little bit of gas. You actually are able to meet whatever demand the home has on it at Christmas time or when relatives turn out for a wedding. You're going to have the hot water. That's why I'm going to declare this one the ultimate hot water system. Gas instant, we'll leave that for last. We'll go down to electric with element. That's not available in a lot of states, and it's a very old system. It uses a lot of electricity. Your environmental impact and your cost is going to be a problem, and I guess the fact is we don't really know how stable the price of electricity is. When you install it in your home and you're looking at the lifespan of the hot water heater, how much you're going to be paying for electricity in a few years' time. That's a question you have to ask yourself. Heat pump. These systems use an air conditioner working in reverse. That's the best way I can explain it. They're quite complicated, but they when you walk past one of these systems operating, you'll be interested to find cold air blowing off the top of the unit. They're supposed to be quite efficient, but to me, the problem with these is they have a tank and no other way to ensure a supply of hot water. You will run out with these just like every other tank system. You might say, well, the solar with gas has a tank. Yes, but it's saved by having a gas instant on it, so you'll never run out of water. That's why this is the ultimate hot water system in my mind. Gas instant, this one to me is the best value. We've got a system here where it's the lowest upfront cost of install, and you will never ever run out of hot water, no matter how many people come to visit, no matter whether you want to fill up your spa bath. Now, we've had some objections with these over the years about the price of gas. Look, personally, I can say that I've got 3 children, and they have lots of baths when they were little. They have lots of showers now that they're a bit bigger. And look, we have not found the price of the gas to be over the top. It is a little bit hard to track the cost of these things. Do your own research. Don't 100% take my word for it. But I haven't found that the cost of gas is unreasonable. The next thing is getting the gas bottles delivered. If you're in a bottle area or in more urban areas, you'll have gas reticulation. We found that the delivery systems are quite good. Companies will come out and fill your bottles up on a routine basis. They will sort of track your usage in some areas and just turn up at exactly the right time to top your bottles up. In other areas, for example, where I live, you have to get the bottles changed. But the way it works is we put 2 bottles in. So when one bottle runs out, you simply switch it over and make a phone call. So it's not like you're ever going to be left without gas as long as you make that phone call when your first bottle runs out. So I haven't found it to be too problematic. We've installed a lot, mostly gas instant heaters on our homes, and we've had very few complaints over the years. The great thing about gas instant, going back to the value, is that when you go away on an extended absence from your home, the gas system sits there and does absolutely nothing. All of these electric systems, you can, if you remember to switch them off, then that's fine. But think of all the little 2 and 3 day trips away from home where you just wouldn't go around switching off all your appliances. To me, the gas instant is a great system. And again, my friend, the architect that I consulted, said that he specifies these quite regularly on all types of projects because they are a successful unit. They don't draw complaints of any type. They just work. Very good system. Now, what is the one single drawback with solar with a gas instant boost? To me, it's the cost. The upfront cost is the highest of all the systems. So it's the biggest dollar hot water heater. How does that translate? In the summertime, you've got free hot water. If you live in Queensland, then you're going to get more hot water. If you live in cooler areas like Victoria, then you might not get the value out of it. There's a certain amount of this judgment that will come down to your own ideas. But look, I'm just trying to tell you what I've learned as a builder over the years to help you make the best, most informed decision on choosing a hot water heater for your home. So just to recap, solar with gas backup is the ultimate hot water heater in my mind, as long as you're willing to pay the upfront cost. Gas instant is the best value. Cheap to run, cheap to buy up front, and we find that our customers are very happy with these units over the years. I've had one of these in my home, I've had one of these in my home, and I've had one of these in my home. I was happy with all three of them. To me, electricity is problematic, and anything that only has a tank on it with no sort of boost, or for example this one with a boost that just isn't strong enough, you're going to have times when you run out of water. The more visitors you have, the more times you're going to have that situation occurring. I hope this has helped. I'm going to let you run now. Thank you for watching.